now. We're
Okay.
live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Molly. Tideback is with me, and we're here to go over the game that was just a few minutes ago. Iowa defeats Washington State. I got some questions for Molly on that. Um, how come you're so much clearer and I look like I'm
I
in
got
a.
the bright light in the new phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I got to take care of business, guys. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I'm gaining subscribers every day. We're up to 411. Just keep them coming.
Keep coming.
Yep, keep them coming. And then hit the like button to show that you like our content. It helps the algorithm and helps when you type in Iowa basketball or Iowa football. I will show up in one of those feeds. So that's all we're trying to do. And then and then share it and comment. Feel free to comment anytime. I usually come back and grab comments afterwards when you guys do it on the replay. So hey, let's get started. All right. First things first. Before we start breaking down the game, you as a former player, when you get into a game and you build up a 30-plus lead, and then the people come off the bench to play, and they get it down into the teens as a final score, what does the starters think? What do the starters actually think? Or do they really care as long as they won the game?
I mean, it gets a little scary every once in a while. We're like, oh man, we're gonna have to go back in. But most of the time, I had the opportunity to have like the top 5 recruiting class that came in after me. So like that was a rarity, right?
Right.
But I mean, it is what it is. You're there, you're cheering them on. I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, 15, getting it down into the teens is we're still winning the game. If it gets under 10, that's when you get a little, you're like, hey,
A little dicey. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
do call a timeout, coach.
yeah.
Get them
Well, it was so
collected.
crazy because I think with about 4 or 5 minutes to go, they had only scored 6 points in that last quarter, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they got hot. But I realized that we pretty much cleared our bench and let everybody in who was eligible to play today, right?
Right.
Including Aaliyah Guyton, who saw her first action
Yes.
today.
Yes, it's so good to see her out there for
Yeah,
sure. It's been a minute, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's
her, yeah,
so good to see her. I bet that felt good for her too, just to be
I'm,
on the floor again.
yeah, definitely. Did you
Finally.
see the team cheer for her when she got her first 2 points?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through it. I know what it's like with all my injuries. So coming back is just, finally get on the floor, run up and down. You've been working hard. They never see what we're doing, not, during the game and how hard you work just to get that little bit on the floor. And I'm so happy for her.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have this in your day, but Aaliyah Guyton's TikTok account, she streamed her rehab.
That's good. Yeah, see, and we did not have that. So at
No.
least they do get to see it, which yeah, we did not have that during the day. My mom said lucky I didn't.
You'd have probably used it and have been quite popular on it. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, she was like, lucky you didn't have that streaming stuff because
Okay. All right. Well, let's get down. Let's get down to the game. I mean, early on, it was quite the battle.
Mhm.
Early on, and and I thought, well,
Yeah.
and you had mentioned, all the overseas players that come
Oh my
on there.
gosh. You
You
can
know,
name, let's see, I got it. Canada, Taiwan, Australia, Spain, Italy, Kosovo, France. I mean, that's Washington's team. Are you kidding me? I was like, are we playing like,
yeah. And
foreigners 101?
so I
What
thought
the
my
heck?
first thought is tell me if this is true. When schools recruit overseas players,
Yep.
and some of them actually, like some of these girls actually looked older,
Yeah.
not not young, but older.
No, they do.
But
Yeah.
are they professionals in their country when they come over, paid players?
Yes.
Or are they?
Yeah, they're starting when they're like 12 and 13. I mean, I had girls on my team that were 14, 15 years old when I was over
Mhm.
playing in Belgium,
Okay.
and they were professionally being paid. I mean, of course, when we got our checks or we got money, we got
Mhm.
little, my envelope was like this thick and theirs was like this thick. So,
Mhm.
but like still, they were professional. They were playing against all of us at
Mhm.
13 and 15 years old. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, whoa, when you were like, they were shooting 60% from 3-point line in the first quarter, and you were like, are they gonna cool down and is Iowa gonna warm up?
I
I
no sooner said
remember
that, and then the script flipped as soon as I wrote
it
that.
did, and I was like, hey, maybe you need to keep saying that stuff to me on text messages. I think UCLA kind of heard it too, with that South Carolina win. So I was
Yeah.
excited about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I made the stupid comment that I didn't want to get too excited about South Carolina going down because I knew you were friends with Don Staley, and
No, no,
you
no, no,
reminded me that you
no,
started
no,
out
no.
with UCLA and you would have gone for them first anyway.
Oh yeah, and go Bruins. I mean, come on. And the Iowa Hawkeyes in South Carolina. I mean, every conversation I have outside is like, oh, you're never gonna beat South Carolina. They've got Iowa, South Carolina's got your number. And I'm like, okay, well, just wait. And boom, when we beat them the first time, and now the Bruins beat them early. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That team
But
doesn't lose games early. They don't. I think for
mm,
what in a 3-year stretch they had 2 championships, and
mm-mm.
I think
Yep.
only one loss, and that was to Iowa.
Yep. See, so that's what I'm saying. And then, I mean, you gotta love it. I mean, and it's crazy because I'm looking at Iowa basketball now. I think you said something about like you really liked Hannah Stolke's game and how it's
Hmm.
changed and how she's
Hmm.
playing with her back to the basket. And
Hmm.
I was watching at one point in time, and they literally had 5 players out, and they're just literally running a wheel. So they're running a wheel and they're just constantly moving. And then once that player within that wheel gets in the post, she's
Hmm.
allowed to just go. And what has
Right.
happened now, it's pulled all the defense out with the other players, and they're literally one on one.
Hmm.
So I love the offense, and it changes up too. So she goes
Yeah.
back when she's got a certain group in. It
Hmm.
goes back to that three players out, 2 players in. I really love how Jan's doing. I told you she's doing that old school basketball.
Yeah, but I kind of like it too. I mean, they're not scoring as much as they did last year, but their defense looks so much better, especially those
Yes,
freshmen. They are just
yes,
leaving it all out there this year. The freshmen are
yes,
so far. I mean, it's like when they get minutes, they're taking advantage of them. They're
yes.
saying, "Hey, I want to play, and I'll get the
Yeah,
defense for you. I'll grab those rebounds for you. I'll dive for the balls for you."
yeah. Stremlo, that's my favorite right now.
Okay, cool.
Like
I can see why.
golly, she's up and down. And the crazy, she's from Wisconsin.
Hmm.
What the heck? Yeah, so she's from up where my brother lives. So she's up in comes from Wisconsin, but that's that hardcore basketball.
Yeah. Well, then, Mulaney's from Wisconsin too, and I believe they played
Mhm.
each other earlier last year in high school.
Which is yeah, so you get those two girls are coming in, they're just running the floor and just it's just hardcore, like I'll run through a wall for you basketball, which you gotta love. It's
Yeah.
like that blue collar basketball, like they'll do the hard stuff. They'll dive on the floor, they'll do anything for you, and you can't but smile and clap for them. I mean, come on.
Oh no, no, that's what I love about them. They're going to be a fun team to watch. Which
Mhm.
the class that they signed for next year is pretty darn good themselves, and they got
I
to be
mean,
looking ahead, thinking, watching this, and they go, "Geez, am I going to get any playing time this year?"
and
My
they will.
freshman.
They will, which is crazy. They will. Like she's going to end up having that 5 and 5 and 5. I guarantee
Mhm.
that comes in and just can run people into the ground. I mean, that's
Oh
what you
yeah,
want with no letdown. I mean, come
yeah.
on, how awesome.
Could we be a future South Carolina
Yes, yes, in a different way.
in a
Seriously, in a
different way?
different
Yeah,
way. They just
win in a different way.
play
Yeah,
old school, like fundamental basketball that runs you into the ground. Like it
yeah.
just runs you into the ground.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So, UCLA upsets South Carolina
yes,
today. I believe UCLA was ranked fifth. Am I right? Will they jump to number one, or will they just slide to
no.
number two and let UConn take number one?
They will not jump them there. Plus, they don't want to go there anyway because every time they went there last year, they
Hmm.
lost. That number one spot and that number three spot will
Hmm.
kill you. Like you go in, get in there, and you're done. You lose. It's like I don't want it. Don't rank us. Like don't rank Iowa. Just leave
Yeah.
us where we're at. Let
Yeah.
us be that underdog.
Yeah.
That
Ask Iowa about the
underdog.
number three ranking. I believe they
Yeah.
every time anybody got in that spot. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But
Don't do it. I don't
uh,
want it. I remember I'm just
UCLA
bouncing
is
around.
scary. I mean, obviously they're the early
Yeah.
favorites to win the Big Ten. I wonder how the rest of the Big Ten,
Jeez.
the core, the people that
I,
have been there fighting for spots for a long time, how do they feel about a new school coming in and being the favorite to win, and probably will win, judging by what I've seen. But you saw today on the thing 7 schools ranked in the Big Ten.
Yeah, hello. I don't know if I mean, come on now. I mean, you got us, you got, I watched Michigan. Michigan looks rough.
Hmm.
Come on. I don't know. That's a lot of traveling. They're going to drop a few games with all that traveling, I think. I really do think they
You think
may
so?
drop them.
Okay,
But
yeah,
it's so hard though, because like I love them both, like,
yeah.
but, but yeah, I bleed black and gold, so it's got to be the Hawkeyes. Um, but
Yeah, yeah, but if it's not the Hawkeyes, I'm sure you're okay with UCLA getting
I
it.
am. I am. I'm okay with the run. That's why I got the light blue on today, just
Yeah, you got their colors. Go.
the little Bruin going on back there.
Oh,
Oh, and
the.
there was a girl. There's a girl that assistant coach I saw for Washington.
Hmm.
She played at Wisconsin back in '93. We played against her.
Oh, you recognized her?
Yes, I did. Camille Williams. I was like, that looks like somebody I know. It's Camille Williams, and she was like in the Big Ten and like one of the Big Ten players, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, she and played at Wisconsin.
All right. Well, give me just your overall observations of what you saw today. I mean, it was easily a blowout, and anybody who sees the final score will think the game was a whole lot closer than it really was. You
Right,
know,
right.
those that didn't take the time to watch the game, because
Yep.
actually, I even found myself just kind of like starting to do things around while
Same.
keeping the noise in my ears so I
Yep.
can hear what was going on.
Yeah.
So I gotta admit I didn't
Same.
see every single play today.
Yeah. In the beginning, you've got O'Grady, right? She's got
Hmm.
8 points in the first quarter, which was awesome, right? And
Hmm.
then it was nice to see Olsen come down and actually take a step back three. I think
Hmm.
she's been listening to all the criticism she's been getting, right? She's not shooting that three. She's not shooting that three. So I bet she was out there working on that, and she showed them. She probably had it. She just didn't want to,
Right.
but she did a step back three. Just watching them play together. Um, and how they think about it, all those different players are all gelling. Like, how
Hmm.
insane is that? And they gel in a different way. So
Yeah.
you got a group in, they kind of slow it down, then you get another group in and they run the court. But they will run the court, they'll all run the court, all the post players run the court, which I love. That was
Hmm.
my favorite thing to do as a player, was just take off down the court, get a pass and go up for a layup. How much fun is that?
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and they're not. Oh, and when I watched Hannah pulling, how Hannah faces up now,
Hmm.
that really, I think it plays to her quickness, so she can use her quickness and get open. She's much better with her facing up and then
Hmm.
coming into the post and be able to do that move
Okay.
than when she's down low and then is making that contact and she feels the girl behind her
Hmm.
and has to make the move. She's much better when she faces up and gets the girl to move, and then she'll score. She usually gets an and one on that.
Yeah. And I noticed that her free throw shooting seems to have improved a bit. I mean, it
Yeah,
improved last year
yeah,
from the previous year,
yeah,
but she seems to be, like I was watching her stroke and I go, oh, that's going in.
yeah,
She's got it.
yeah,
She nailed it.
yeah. And then O'Grady with the little, the short corner, which is,
Hmm.
you're like, O'Grady for the pull up. Well, she's got that short corner, and you just pop out in the short corner. Jan's running that. I'm glad she's bringing it back, because that exposes any big post player. So as soon as you run that short corner,
Hmm.
big post player tries to come out, you can hit your teammate at the high post
Hmm.
or somebody diving down. It's textbook basketball.
Yeah. Well, in the previous years, the Caitlin years and the
Hmm.
Megan Gustafson years,
Hmm.
they always had the center, just catch the ball and lay it in, right?
Yeah.
You know, Rarely did the ball touch the ground when they got it. I
Yep.
mean, I remember Kathleen Doyle, is it?
Hmm.
That
Yep.
was passing to Megan,
Yep.
and then Caitlin comes in and she passes to Sonano,
Yep.
and so that's a different kind of ball with between Caitlin and
Absolutely.
Caitlin and Kathleen, with
Hmm.
those two centers than
Hmm.
we're having right now. And
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing. I like the moves that these centers are making because, it's like
Yeah.
what O'Grady's worked her tail off.
Oh
Obviously, I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
For sure.
pretty obvious, and she's not letting up so far.
No, that confidence is there. She's got it now.
You can
She's
see it,
not.
yeah. When she
She's not
just steps
shy.
out, when she just steps out a little bit
Yep.
and shoots it, And you can just see the confidence in her body when she shoots it.
Oh yeah, she's like, I got this, and if I don't, I know I got rebounders. So I mean, when you've got that, you're like, I'm gonna take my shot because I got rebounders. And the
Right.
thing is when they pose the post players out, all the other players are away from them.
Hmm.
Because you would think, oh, a post player can't put the ball on the ground, right? Oh no, we
Hmm.
can, but we're not allowed to do it in traffic. But as soon as you pull everybody away from us,
Hmm.
it's over and it's quick to the basket. So I mean, that's the difference. You're not seeing her do that in traffic. She's not putting that ball down in traffic, getting tied up, getting it knocked out. She's doing it facing up like a guard, almost like a three player.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
nice to see.
Yeah. No, and I will have to say, I thought last year a lot of the reasons why she didn't get a ton of minutes was, if I remember right, she was putting it on the ground in traffic at that last
Oh
year a
yeah,
little
and
bit.
yeah, and getting tied up and losing it a
Hmm.
lot,
Yeah.
falling down. She was doing a lot. She was on the ground a lot,
Hmm.
and you're not seeing that now.
No, because last year she started the season, and then all of a sudden she just quietly disappeared, and we didn't see much of her unless somebody was in foul trouble, or
Yeah, yeah.
or cleanup time,
But she's
garbage
a
time is.
big body. It's so nice to have that in there and have it be a constant. And
Yeah.
plus, you see who comes off the bench to replace her. I mean, come on, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not a
Well,
letdown.
and I knew when I heard that Washington State had a 6'6" center, I knew
Yeah,
Ava Hayden would get a lot more minutes today.
yeah, yeah,
Either because O'Grady was in foul trouble, or because
yeah.
got to give her a blow.
Yeah, and
It's
she came
going up
down the
six
floor.
six
She was
girl.
running. She was running down the floor like a little guard.
Yeah.
Made that layup. It was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
these freshmen are going to be so awesome, and now that we got a Leo starting, not starting, but
out there playing. Yep.
out there playing, I don't know how much they're going to do minutes wise. That I assume they'll work her in slowly.
Yeah, I mean, and you can tell they love the game of basketball. Like
Hmm.
they're playing, and you can see the smile on their face. Like they
Yeah,
love what they're doing. They love that. They love playing, and I mean, they love being a Hawkeye. You can tell that.
yeah.
Like you
Well,
can just see it.
yeah, you could see it in everybody out there too, not just the freshmen. But now,
it they
nothing to take
enjoy
away
each
from
other.
Caitlin, because Caitlin did a lot to put Iowa basketball on the
Absolutely,
map. Did a
absolutely.
lot, but I didn't see those smiles last year when Caitlin was playing.
Yeah, and it's tough.
Sometimes
It's
you did.
tough.
You
Yeah.
yeah.
That's tough. I mean, think about that publicity. Think about all
Mhm.
those people in their face. Think about how much they probably had to keep the team away from the crowds or away from
Mhm.
people just to keep the distractions down. And now, I mean, yeah, we love what Caitlin brought. I mean, you never take that away from her ever, ever,
No,
ever.
never, never.
Never. And it's amazing what she brought to the game, but like I think it just gives Iowa time to breathe now. Now they can
Mhm.
just breathe and just play.
They
You
can be a
know,
normal. They can be a
yeah.
normal team. I mean, they still have to win. A lot of times, I don't know. Maybe the media has finally stopped asking about Caitlin not being there anymore. But at the beginning of the season, that was all they asked about.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah. Yeah. And now they have their individual stars, you know.
yeah.
They have their individual little stars down there that they'll talk to every once in a while and just keep it that way. It's fine. We'll sneak up on people. We don't care. Just keep doing that. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no, no, I love it's so balanced, and you never know who's
Yeah.
gonna get hot. I mean, Sydney tonight and
Yes, I love that.
McCabe, they both didn't have the greatest of games offensive wise. I don't think either one of them scored, if I
But they
remember
do
right.
so much more.
Yeah, they did so much more. Yeah,
They do.
and
They do defensively, off like bringing the ball down the court, making those passes. I mean, they're just that extra little thing there that, that little like, I don't know, something in your shoe kind of thing where you're like, that's just bothering me. They do that defensively, and then they're there to push the ball down the court, or they're running down the court, filling a lane, which takes a lane for somebody else
hmm
defensively and opens it up for the post players. There's so much that these players are doing that nobody really understands. When you
yeah,
run your lanes correctly, I mean, that defense has to go play you. So when you're doing the right thing and you're spreading the floor out,
yeah,
in soccer, when you spread that out, I mean, come on. And
that
they're
opens up
doing
some
their
lanes when you
job.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah, they're doing their job. And when they do their job, that makes it easier for those other players to do what they have to do.
yeah. Well, I was looking at McCabe's line. It's 0 for 3, but I wanted to see, just for curiosity, what else she did. She had 6 rebounds tonight.
See,
You know,
see, that's a
and
guard. That's a
they didn't put
guard.
the assist on here. You guys, oh, there they are. I wanted to see her assist. Okay, where you at, McCabe? She had 2 assists.
Still, six
Yeah,
rebounds and 2 assists for a guard.
yeah. And then Feuerbach was 0 for 4.
Okay.
2 rebounds, but 3 assists, and so she's getting out there doing her job.
Right. Well, there's other things you're not looking at either. They don't put in the stat book. You got deflections. I
Mhm.
mean, you've got them. Those are huge. When you can get a defensive deflection, or you just make an easy pass, and like I told you, you're filling the lanes and running and running
Mhm.
the offense, slowing it down and running the offense, calming everybody down and
Mhm.
running the offense. They're doing that, like because they've got to control those freshmen. Because they would just go. I mean, I can see it on their face, like they want to go, and they're like, slow it down,
Yeah,
take it
they
back.
gotta learn.
Now
They gotta
go.
learn. But
Yeah.
what I
So.
like about this team is the bond that they seem to have,
Yes.
the tightness that they have, because just watching the girls go crazy for each other, and then
Yes.
when was it Jada that sank that bank three? I think it was her, or maybe it
Did
was
she call it? I
AJ
hope she
Ettinger.
called that bank. When you hit a bank shot, you gotta call it. Just like me.
Yeah.
The bank's open, but you better call it.
Yeah. But no, but that's fun, like, especially seeing AJ out there and Jada out there.
Yeah.
I know that I follow them on TikTok. They're very big TikTok users, and they
Yes.
do their dances and their songs, and,
But
you
people
know
always say, "Oh, but you're not on the court." Well, now she is. So what you got to say,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that's her role, and just from watching both of them, they both seem to have accepted their role, and they're happy being
Yeah.
Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
I doubt
Exactly.
either one of them's looking to go anywhere next year, and
No.
they could.
Not. Mm-mm. No, they're doing what they need to do, and I love it. I mean, I love that. What I mean, and Bluter built it, and Jan's continuing it. How can she not continue it? I mean, it
Mhm.
is what it is. It's part of that sisterhood. I mean, and you have a sisterhood. You back each other up. It just is what it is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you think I know that Jen and Lisa are really tight friends and have been for years, but do you think there's part of Jan that kind of a little iffy with Bluter coming to all of her games when they're at home and she's available to come to the games?
I bet she doesn't even realize it.
I
Because
just
she's like a
wondered.
part of her. Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't even be like,
it's just like, yeah.
it's
I mean,
almost
I
like,
know.
where are you and why are you not here? Like, you're part of me. Like, she probably realizes more when she's not there than she does when she is. You know what I mean? Like, where
Yeah.
is she? Like, this
Oh,
is
that you're probably
weird.
right. You're probably right.
Like,
I'm
it's
sure that there's
thinking
not there.
how many years?
I know I would be there, and it's like, especially if I tweaked a few things, from
Yeah.
what we did for 26 years together, or how many years they were together.
She's enjoying it. And I guarantee, because as a head coach, I mean, as a head coach, you develop your assistants to be a coach, a head
Hmm.
coach.
Yeah.
And she's been grooming Jan forever. Jan's been ready forever. Come on now. And you want her to have she has to put her mark on it. And,
Hmm.
she's not going to continue what Bluter was doing. That would be a mistake. She has to do what she knows and what she believes, because that's where the players are going to buy into that. If you
Right.
just come in and continue to do what Bluter was doing, no
Hmm.
disrespect, because they know the love is there. They know that
Yeah.
love is there. But she's
Right.
going to come in and she has to coach how she's going to coach.
Right.
They
And then
respect that more.
and then coach to the talent level that you've got, or to the,
Absolutely. You have
and
to.
make sure that the people with
Yeah.
to their strengths, and try to play away from their weaknesses if you can. I was
And
always
this
big
is
on
a
that.
completely different team from last year. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
of course it is. Of course it
Good
is.
Lord. Jan's doing a great job.
Mhm.
And you can tell her assistants are in there. I mean, you could tell they all have great input. I mean, just watching the bench. I mean, the
Yeah.
bench is it runs well. You can tell. Like I said, they're calling timeouts when they need to call timeouts. They're not giving me heart attacks this year. Thank God. Not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet.
And I didn't realize until recently that Randy Peterson, who's now Randy Henderson, was married to a former Hawkeye men basketball player.
Huh? Crazy.
Duez Henderson,
Really?
I believe, is who her husband is or was.
Wow.
I can't say. I don't know her marital status right now,
Wow.
but.
I have a crazy story. I
Mhm.
literally just saw on Facebook there's a Papa Shot, right? For
Mhm.
sale for $50 down the
Mhm.
street from my house, 3 minutes from here. Okay.
Okay.
So I told the person, hey, I played at Iowa. I really got to get this. It's $50. Come on now. Is it still for sale? Because those go up, they're gone.
Mhm.
And the person's like, oh my God, you played at Iowa? I went to Iowa. I said, you better shut the front door. So we started talking, and she knew Russ Millard. She knew her best friend's roommate was roommates with Chris Street back
Oh,
when.
wow! 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 Wow!
Yes. And she knew everybody, like all the boys players. And then she said, "Too bad my husband went to Illinois." And I was like, "Ew, sorry." So after we get done, I'm gonna go down and we're gonna have a chat because I was like, "This is you can't write this. This is
No,
crazy."
no, you can't. You can't. You can't.
And she lives three
Make sure
minutes
she
from
watches
me.
this podcast.
I will. I'm like, she lives 3 minutes from me. How crazy is that? And
That
she's
is,
like, "You've got to be kidding me." And I'm like, "Shut the front door. You do not live down the street from me and know all these people. That's just nuts."
yeah, yeah. No, wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
So we're
Okay,
everywhere.
to keep things rolling a little bit,
Yes.
I'm not sure where I wanted to take this anymore because how this is hard to do. I'm afraid when we had a blowout,
A little
you know,
bit. A little bit.
and but I enjoy talking about the individual players who got
Hmm.
out there
Hmm.
and got some time today. I was watching, I've kind of told you that, Callie Levine is kind of my this year's favorite, but I know I'm not going to see a bunch of her except
Hmm.
in situations like
Hmm.
this.
Yeah.
But I was kind of watching her, hoping that she would get at least at least one shot off. I don't think she even took a shot, but I was watching her run the floor when they were
Yeah.
in the offense, and I really liked what she'd do. She'd pass off the ball and run to her spot, and I
Yeah.
know the announcers, and I'm sure that having played that running without the ball is where you want to do,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Correct. Making
Yeah.
those moves
And
without the
it's
ball.
just it's weird after not being like you want to be in the game, and it's
Hmm.
just strange getting back on the court,
Hmm.
and you got to be in the, like, I don't know, it's just you want to have the ball so badly, you want to do the right thing so badly, like, and I know you get that, like, we always said you get the cotton mouth right when you get in. You got to get up and down the court a couple times because you get
Hmm.
the cotton mouth. You
Hmm.
need to drink some water, and hopefully coach will take a timeout, and then you're good. But
Okay.
like, yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I feel it. And then, but I can tell you that, like, turnovers wise, think of how many turnovers did they have? Because I know I had it like third quarter. They only had 6 turnovers in the third quarter. That's huge. Like, that's huge on a game like this. Like, if you think, because you know
They
the
had
the
14 total.
okay, that's good. You want to be under 15. Like, you want to be under 15. You like to be 10, but you want to be under 15
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
when you were thinking, at third quarter, that's what they had. Would you say they had at the end of the third quarter?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
14. Washington had 14, and Iowa only had 6.
yeah, but I think a lot
So
of those turnovers came at the toward the end of the game because
probably,
if you watched, we were turning the younger guys, but they'll learn. The younger girls,
yeah, yeah,
they'll learn.
absolutely,
They'll learn
yeah,
because like we said, this future is nothing but bright for
yeah.
this team, and
But
and for
yes,
people not to rank them right now. I don't know what they're waiting for. Are they waiting for us to play one of the ranked teams?
like at least the top 25. I mean, come on, guys. Really? I need to look. I don't even know who's in the top 25, but I need to look. But I don't want to look because it make me even more mad. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna let it
Well,
be.
here, let's just say I think Nebraska's sitting at 21 with one
Shut up.
loss, and
Shut
we're
up.
not even in there with 0 losses. And this is the first time since I think they said 27-18 that Iowa started off 6-0. And if they can get one more
They
win,
did.
it'd be
Yeah.
7-0. They will
Right.
match that team, so they would need to get to 8-0 to be the only Iowa team to go 8-0 to start the season.
What's going on? What's going on, people? Let's,
Yeah,
whoever's watching out there, if you hear us, make a shout out.
yeah,
Not too high though. We don't want to be too high.
yeah.
Don't do
But
that to
Iowa's
us.
not the important thing is they're not shying away from
Mm-mm.
playing Power 4, Power 5 type teams like
Yeah, they
Washington
don't care.
State, and I can't remember Kansas. They played Kansas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't know. I know they're going to Cancun. I don't know who they're playing in Cancun because
Ah.
I think Tennessee's one of those teams or
Yes,
no?
Tennessee is one of those teams, and they were talking about how Tennessee is one of those teams everybody's talking about, and the
Mhm.
new coach, and because was
Mhm.
it Kelly, point guard that was the coach? Didn't they get rid of her and they got a new coach in? I think at Tennessee. If I'm not right.
I've not paid much attention. I know
Yeah,
that Tennessee hasn't been the same for a couple of years
they
without
have
their.
not. They have not,
Mhm.
and so I know that they are playing them there. I don't know who else is there, but I would like to go to Cancun with you too, if you can make that trip possible.
Give Jan a call. I'm sure she'll
Let's
work it
go to
out.
Cancun.
Yeah, Jan, can I go to Cancun with you? Hang on for a
What a
second.
great Thanksgiving.
Let's get you let's find out what we're doing here. Let's find out what the schedule says.
Yeah, find out who's playing because I want to know. But I
Yeah.
need to look at those other, like you said, really Nebraska's 21 with a loss.
Okay. Well, here we go. It's Rhode Island first
Okay.
on the 28th. Is that the day after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Okay. And then the 29th is BYU. But I mean, so there's a team. There's a Power 4 or 5 team, BYU.
I mean,
And then December 7th we play Tennessee. I don't know how they're doing yet or if they're ranked or anything.
yeah. But I
I'd have
mean,
to-
you don't like, okay, Final Four teams.
Mhm.
Come on now, Final Four teams still need to be ranked.
Mhm. Yeah.
They need to be ranked.
Yeah. I just think this just shows you how much the media
My
had
dog is
regard
going nuts.
for
You hear
with
that?
Caitlin Clark. I hear the dog back there.
Yeah. It's a puppy.
Yeah. Well, my daughter has a dog named Sammy who, for some reason, has the zoomies and is really wild. And every time I walk through that door, it's all over me. And he doesn't have his claws. He doesn't have his claws clipped, and I get scratched up all the
Oh,
time.
that's not good.
I go, guys, come and take your dog until he settles down. I can't do anything with him. But here, Dog, their other dog, a little Chihuahua, I said, he can come up and sit next to me and do whatever he wants because a lot of times he'll just lay on my leg. And I said, look,
Yeah.
he likes me. And they go, no, he doesn't like you. He's guarding the kids by making sure that when he's on his leg, he knows when to get up and attack you.
You stay here.
Yeah. But anyway, so December 7th is Tennessee, followed by Iowa State, followed by Michigan State, followed by Northern Iowa. So there's a gauntlet right there, 4-game stretch.
Especially the Iowa State game. Because do they have Iowa State ranked? I know Iowa State's playing. Iowa State's playing South Carolina.
Yeah.
Number 8.
They were like Iowa State was like number 8,
right.
But they lost this week to UNI.
Okay, and they're about to play South Carolina.
Are they?
Okay. Yep, I think on Thanksgiving Day they're going to play South Carolina.
Okay, well,
so there you go.
State.
So that'll be the
Iowa State. I'm behind you. I'm 100% behind you on this one. Take them down.
Let's see. Let's see what happens, and then you can just keep not ranking Iowa. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think the girls are really worried about not being ranked yet.
Nah.
But I do feel like by the time we get to the tournament, we need to be in the top 16 so we get to have 2 home games.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, because we'd have to be top 16, right, in order to host a game.
Everything's so different now. I don't even know. I don't think when we went to the Final Four in '93 that we were ranked that high either. I can't remember, but I don't remember hardly anything anyway. So
yeah. They play more games now. If you're in the top 16, you get 2 games at home. To start the round.
You get to host.
Huh?
You get to host.
Yeah.
I know that hosting at Iowa is a big thing. That's huge because you're gonna have good crowds. So it's they like to do that just because they know the fan base. I mean, the football team does the same thing, right? They want us in a bowl game because we're gonna bring our fans, make all that money.
I don't know about this year's bowl game selection.
I don't either. They'll make one for us.
I keep predicting Detroit or Pinstripe Bowl, and everybody's yelling at me. No,
right?
Yeah.
They usually make up a bowl for Iowa so they can play.
Yeah. Right now, I'm here in Reliquest. Reliquest, as you say that, in Tampa, and or the Music City Bowl again. I wouldn't mind seeing them in the Music City.
Yeah, that would be nice. Music City Bowl would be nice, but
anyway, either way. Well, I know one thing for sure. If we go to Music City, we won't be playing Kentucky because they're not bowl eligible.
Well, good.
All right. Okay. So
anyway,
anything else you want to add to this? Any thoughts you had about this game tonight, or anything?
I'm just excited to watch them continue to grow. I mean, I really like where they're at right now. It's big. I mean, I do. I like where they're at. I like how they're actually playing ball. They're not. They don't have turnovers. And you said like the defense. I love that the defense is on point, and that they're running the floor. And you're not seeing them. You notice how you would see them get really tired last year. You're not seeing that this year because you have that many replacements that can come in and give them that quick. And there's no letdown. I love that.
Yeah. I love that too. The freshmen, I didn't know for sure if they were going to pull that off with the freshmen this year. I knew they had talent. I just didn't know if they were going to be ready to go so fast.
It's confident freshmen. They are very confident. They don't look like freshmen on the floor. I'm just telling you.
No, oh,
Like they
that's good.
don't. They
That's
do
good.
not.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I mean they're just out. I mean, like you said, we'll see when you get them out there against those top teams, those upper ranked teams, and then that competition comes. We'll see what they look like then. But like right now, they're looking like "Psh, whatever, bring it.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
real, bring it. Let's go.
Okay. Now I'm
Like,
going to throw you a curveball here.
okay,
You mentioned when we didn't actually get a chance to do our other game that you wouldn't mind talking about Lynette Woodward.
Woodard,
And
yeah,
yeah, you said you'd like
Woodard.
to say a few words about that. So I'm going to throw it to you there.
Okay, so we call her Wood. But yeah, Lynette, when they were playing Kansas, which is crazy. So she played at Kansas, right?
Hmm.
And
Right.
we were going to talk about that because when I was in Detroit, so I went and played for the Detroit Shock. I went
Hmm.
through a tryout in Detroit. They had 370 players on a weekend,
Hmm.
and they took seven, and I was one of those seven. Um,
Congratulations.
isn't that nuts? I was like, congrat. I know, right? I was like, whoa. So when I went in, it was me, Lynette Woodard, Betsy Harris from Alabama. She was the White Lightning from Alabama.
Hmm.
Another player, Jurgita from, oh my gosh, Croatia, I think.
Hmm.
And then Ruthie Bolton, Anime Bolton's sister. And then one other player, and gosh, forgive me for being old and not remembering her name. But we went out and killed everybody. And like we were just killing them. And we were getting paid like $50 a day. Lynette was probably getting paid more because I think she had an agent at the time. I did not have an agent. I just walked through the door and said, take me, Nancy Lieberman Klein. Can I play for you? And she's like, sure, come on, Tideback.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I
Right?
mean, you told that story on here before how
Yeah,
you just kind of went to her and asked her about it.
yeah, yeah.
Didn't she
It's
just say,
crazy.
come and try out?
She did. She's like, come on, try it. We'll see what'll happen. So playing with Lynette was insane. Like that. I mean, she was one of the older players at the time.
Hmm.
And it was her knowledge. And I was considered an older player. I think it was at like 31 at the time.
Wow.
And we were
Okay.
talking to these younger players because, they're like, oh man, we got to sign this autograph and we got to do this. And we're like, you need to do that because you are building the WNBA.
Hmm.
And Lynette was one of them that was she's just so smooth,
Hmm.
so classy, like just and to play with her was amazing. And then we'd get in and we play. I think we're playing the Charlotte Sting, and they wouldn't put us all in at the same time. Like they'd split us up, two and then two here and two here, because they had put a lot of money into some Australian players.
Uh-huh.
So they brought over like 6 Australian players that year.
Okay.
So they put the money into those girls. So when those girls were there, but in practice, we were killing them. I'm telling you, it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, we had such a great time. It was a blast. One of the best experiences. I think I did get cut before she did, though. And I think they actually kept her on the team in Detroit for a minute. I mean, she's Lynette Woodard.
I was going to say Lynette
You
Woodard.
gotta keep a
Why would
Lynette
she get
Woodard.
cut? Why would she get cut?
Got all these Australian players, but I think they did keep her for that season, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. I mean, I'd have to look back. You know how things are, though. I mean, again, what, 97? So you're just creeping in on the social media, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't even remember, but
Actually, I think it was just. I think AOL was starting to become a thing or something by then.
you've got mail.
You got mail. You got mail. And I didn't have a real computer at the time.
Nah, you got
My
DOS.
I think in '98, my next door neighbor who was really into computers built me a computer from scratch. It was all DOS stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
But the thing is you to get on the internet, I had to go through this thing they called a bulletin board or something. It wasn't like a real internet.
No, well, you wouldn't think we could just see each other and talk back and forth. I mean, that's
No, who would have thought
insane,
that? It's like,
right?
wow. I don't know. You're old enough to remember probably the Jetson cartoons from the
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
And when you see some of that stuff we're doing with technology today, and it's like those writers and cartoonists were ahead of their time. They knew
They
this stuff
knew.
was coming.
They knew it was going to happen. They were like, you are going to be able to talk and see people on your phone. I'm like, what? I'm wrapped up in the cord right now. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I remember those days. Hallway phone.
Yeah.
Your friends call. Oh, then
Yeah.
if you wanted to talk to a girl and your dad's bedroom is right there, and you just
Yeah.
like you're trying to figure out. I need a cord on it. I'm gonna go buy
You
a
try to
longer cord
stretch it down the hall.
so I can go away from my dad. I don't want to hear him talking to me, talking to somebody.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, that was a great experience. I'm telling you, like, I would not trade that for the world. Everybody's like, oh, you got back surgeries and ankle surgeries and, knee surgeries and broken bones. And you can, I can walk still, so I'm fine. I can shoot too. So whatever. They're like, would you ever not do it again just to, heck no, I wouldn't trade that for the world. I'd do it over and over and over.
You fulfilled a dream that you probably didn't even know you had, because I'm
Mm,
sure when you were in high school, the WNBA didn't exist yet.
Nope. I had no idea. Had no idea.
But like I said, you had a dream, but you didn't know you had it, and you got to
Right.
fulfill it.
Right. Yeah. And then because we fulfilled it, others are making it now and they have this great opportunity and I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's the best ever.
You guys got going on it early, and you just set the foundation for what is now.
Yeah.
Seems to be exploding now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, who knew? Like, that's
Yeah.
just nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well, it's like
glad.
this year's like, okay. So I watched all the Fever games this year and some of the
Yes.
aces, and I told somebody, I go, is it bad that I know more of who the women players are this year than I do the men NBA players?
For real. For real. And I went to, when I went to watch Iowa play, I couldn't believe the stands, the crowd, and how insane it was. And then when I went to a Fever game, I'm like, just, taking my phone and going across, and I'm like, this is State Farm Arena, and this is a WNBA game. This is not a small arena. This is full. It is full. And we're in Atlanta, and there are more freaking Indiana fans there than there were Atlanta Dream fans. And the Atlanta Dream fans were mad. They were so mad. They're like, why are there so many? They're like, why is there so many Fever fans here? This is ridiculous. And I'm
If
like,
the Dream fans
Caitlin,
would buy up the tickets, there wouldn't be any for
yep,
the Fever to buy.
yep, I'm for real, like for real. And then I had bought season tickets before it even started because I knew that, if Caitlin got drafted to Indiana, she'd be playing in Atlanta. So I went and bought 6 season tickets, 2 season tickets for 6 games, right? And I said, is Indiana part of this? And the guy's like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. And I'm like, are the Aces part of this? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I go, how much? What? I'm gonna break the bank, right? He goes, $250. I'm like, sold.
Wow, and you got in
Two
before they
hundred and
knew what was
fifty
going on.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got to tell you, the day she was drafted by the Fever,
Oh my gosh.
I went in and to the Los Angeles Sparks website, thought I'm going to snag me up some cheap tickets.
Nope.
No, at Los Angeles Sparks, some of the cheapest tickets were in the $1,000 range.
See,
Yeah,
you had to do it before, and I did it way before, like way before.
yeah.
And
So
I
what
told
I
the
did
guy,
was I did an experiment. So I go, okay, I picked the Fever game, but that ticket was too much. So that was a single game ticket. So I thought, let me check out a couple other games. Same seats, $13.
really?
Yeah, really.
That's nuts. That's
That is
nuts.
nuts. That is nuts. And then I thought, oh, let me try
But
the Aces because the Vegas team isn't too far from me either.
yeah,
It's only a short 4 or 5 hour drive. So let me check it
right.
out. Okay. Also, every time they had a Fever game scheduled, it was a lot of money, but they weren't as expensive. They were more like 700 or 600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
then when I went and checked out theirs were like $11, $10 seats.
I know. And they're going, yeah, there's no difference. It's not that big a deal. We're not making more money. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, if anybody looks at the price of the tickets,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
people are buying them.
I think what these other teams need to do, they need to give Caitlin Clark a big bouquet of something, an extra bonus check. Like, hey, thank you for helping us make some money that we didn't make last year.
But the crazy part, she won't take it.
I know it.
She won't take it. She'll
I
be
know
like,
it.
nah, I'm good.
But I think the league needs to recognize that without her and her crazy fans following her all over, and the news
It's
media
for
following
real.
her over, they don't get those kind of attendance in that games.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
for
think
real.
some of those teams probably gained some new fans because of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
And it's, I mean, it's fun because I hadn't watched for a couple years until, I started watching her the last 2.
Yeah. And then the new 3-on-3 league, I think it starts in January. I think that's gonna get some new fans going too. I mean, I think they got some college kids in there on those
That's
teams. I'm not
crazy.
sure. They may or may not. Maybe they don't.
It'll
No,
be
they would be
interesting.
impossible because college is still in season.
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to figure, like, to look at it and to see how they're gonna run it. Like I told you, I saw the Olympic one. I wasn't too excited. It wasn't exciting, but it'll be interesting to see how they run this. Like, how do they promote it? Like, what do
Hmm.
they do to make it interesting? Like, you've got to do something. There's got to be something to bite into. You can't just,
Yeah, right.
3-on-3 is 3-on-3. Like,
Yeah, I think the
what are we
league is
gonna do
probably
different?
disappointed. It sounds like Caitlin's a definite no.
Yep.
And I think I don't
She's
even know if they've named the last two players yet because on their rosters they just put to be named or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So who knows?
I don't even know who the two new players are, but it'd be nice to know who they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think this would be a good place to let this go before we
Yep.
get
Sounds
boring
good.
everybody. So,
Not now, right?
all right.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I would like to say that I won't be able to do the Cancun games because I'm not in a position to watch any of the Cancun games,
Yep.
but
That's fine. No
we
big
should
deal.
be able to back and do the Tennessee game following
That
that.
that'll be perfect.
Okay.
That'll actually be perfect, and then we can, catch up on some stuff and see what we
Cool.
need to do.
All right. Yeah,
But lots of
I'm
fun.
enjoying this. This has become fun. I want this to become a habit.
We got to start promoting. We'll promote a little bit more, get some more people out there, and then maybe
Yeah,
we can get some. Maybe I can get somebody to come in and speak with us or something.
that'd be
See,
cool.
see
Somebody
if I,
with a name. Like
see
give
if I can
Nancy a
get
call. Give
or see
Nancy a call.
or see if I can get Coach Abe
Yeah,
over at Georgia to come in. Be like, "What's up, Coach Abe? You want to come talk with us?"
there you go. Well, what would be, and that would be cool. But what would even be better is if you
What?
could get one of the Iowa assistant coaches, because I don't think Jan would do it. But
That's
you know,
true. We could
Abby or
see.
Randy, or I don't even know who the guy is. I wouldn't recognize him if I saw him.
I don't know. I don't know either. Maybe we need to start paying attention to that, right?
Yeah, we do.
No
We do.
disrespect, guys. It's just, hey, we're here for the players.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get any comments tonight.
That's okay.
We've chased everybody off now, so there's nobody left online watching.
They got tired of it.
Yeah, I guess.
All
Anyway, thank you for coming on, and I look
right, no
forward
problem.
to it, and we'll do this for the Tennessee game.
All right, sounds good.
All right, take care.
Later.
Bye, Molly.